So let's first set the stage with our couple who has raised kids and purchased a 4,200 square foot house back in the 2000s decade. They paid $150 a foot for this house, or $630,000. Now they've raised kids in the house and the kids have graduated from college and begun adult lives of their own. And our couple here is looking around the house and thinking, gosh, some things are starting to need some work. I wonder if this is the time we should consider downsizing. Now, we've all known others that have taken this step and gotten some positive feedback, but the question for our couple is this the right thing? So let's look at the housing market, which has been pretty good. Their realtor friend shares that they could sell their house for $375 a foot, which is a value of $1.575 million. That's a gain of almost $950,000. Certainly they could use the money to find exactly what they want. But there are some things to take into account here as they consider what they'll do. We know that their cost basis in the home is $630,000, and we know that under current tax law, the first $500,000 in gain on their primary residence is not taxable. But the taxable amount of their gain would be about $445,000, and at 15% capital gains, that's a cap gains tax of $66,750. Additionally, they'll most likely have realtor expenses in the sale, so let's just assume that is 6%. This amounts to $94,500. So once we do the math on our sale, our empty nester couple will net just a little over $1.4 million on the sale of their home. This is a pretty decent amount to go shopping for a smaller home, but if our couple wants to continue to live in a desirable area, chances are that the per foot price of a smaller home is going to be more than what they sold their home for. Let's assume as they begin looking for homes that they were considering a 2,500 foot home at first, but then they decided they needed just one more bedroom. They wanted to be able to have space for 2 kids to come home or to have spare bedrooms that are also doubled as a home office or a yoga space. So their needs went up to 2,800 square feet of space. So as our couple begins to look for homes in the area that they wanted to live in that are 2,800 feet, they found their square foot price was roughly $430 per foot. This is a cost of $1.2 million just to get in the home. Now, while they made more than it cost to get into their new home, they did make some space sacrifices. They now have 66% of the space they had in their old home, and to get that smaller space, it cost them 85% of what they sold the previous home for. Our first big takeaway is it will cost more than you think for the downsized house.